Hello everybody. We're going into Historic Brawl here at Tpull's Corner, and I don't know why we're waiting so long to find an opponent because Arena's been able to find no shortage of people able to kick my butt today during playtesting. The last time we did this we used Light Paws, the advisor, and there was a lot of removal spells. So I chose for my next one is my Commander Emry, and Emry gets cheaper to cast the more artifacts you have on the board. So if I'm facing a lot of removal cards, I can still bring Emry back down for cheap. And during all of my playtesting, there was like one deck that had removal, and the rest was all just no removal at all, just ignoring their opponent, just putting down the perfect openings and killing me in like 3 or 4 turns. It's been really depressing. Just the amount of nice, smooth, perfect draws that they've been getting. We'll see how we do against Mondrak here. Bring down the Aether Spellbomb. We can bring down Stonecoil Serpent for 0 if we want. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead, so that's not cool for what we were planning to do to bring everything back with Emry. Like I was going to bring Stonecoil down anytime and then just bring it back a second time. And here, look at that, Arena matched us up against a Graveyard Exile deck. While my commander happens to be the only advantage of this creature is that she gets things out of the graveyard. So what a coinkydink. We got Sculpting Steel, Tormod's Crypt. Let's go ahead and bring down Spectrum Sentinel. And we'll just attack with our Combat Courier. So basically, they can get Mondrak down and then create copies of their beast creature the whole time. Let's go ahead and get Sculpting Steel back. And we'll cast it. And what can we copy here? Can we copy that? No, it has to be an artifact. How about, let's do 1 mana of each color. Except all they need now is land, and they can outpace me very, very quickly and make Mondrak indestructible in the meantime. Did I mention that my opponent is having perfect openings? Got exactly the thing he needed for constant token generation. Okay, so what do we do? I think we need more land. And let's go ahead and get Tormod's Crypt out here. Can cast that for 0. And we'll be done. Oh look, 6 mana, the perfect curve. Just gain life and draw a card. we are going to Sacrifice this and return you to your hand. And then we're going to bring it back. And Cryptolith Fragment. Seems like a good idea. What else can we do? Bag of Holding. That'll work. Mondrak comes back down. Do you bother to make him indestructible right away? We'll block a couple, see if they have a comeback trick. They do not. Interesting choice. Okay, we have Disruption Protocol, so that's 3. I'm going to use this one. Look at the top 5 cards. And we whiff. In a deck full of artifacts, we get absolutely nothing out of the spell. Thank you, Arena. I guess we already got most of the artifacts that we're going to get. I was probably supposed to counter that, but that's only 2 mana. These are all cheap spells. Let me just pay that. They don't need to keep that. See, look at that. They still have enough to bring down Mangara. Life gain, card draw, indestructibility. They have it all. Let's see, what can we do here? 7? All right. No attacks in the turn. Now my problem is I can't get him down to 10 less life to transform the Cryptolith Fragment into the Flying Death Touch creature that I need. And now they've got flyers. And a ton of triggers. And Mondrak doubled everything. Did I mention that my opponent's been getting perfect draws this entire time? Yeah. Good game. I can't stop that. We emptied our hand, we did everything that we could, and it was nowhere near enough. Was that fun? That was not fun. Because I didn't get the cards that would help me, but they definitely got cards that would help them. Alright, before we play again, let me go in and show you the deck. And maybe it's me, maybe I put together a lousy deck. Alright, Emry Lurker of the Luck is the commander. Costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control. Now in commander, when you die, your creature costs 2 more to bring down every single time. So if we have like 6 artifacts down, then she's still going to be just the 3 to cast for a little bit. When she enters the battlefield, you mill 4 cards, and then you choose a target artifact card in your graveyard, and you can cast that card in the same turn. Our overview of the deck, we've got 3.4 average mana cost, 23 creatures, and artifacts, we got 41 out of 100 cards. We've got 41 artifacts, and we still whiffed on the one we searched. But on the high end, we've got things like Portal to Phyrexia. You saw Walking Skyscraper. We've got Meteor Golem, card draw with Seagate Restoration, Jin-Gitaxias, which is a great double for us, but Arena, when you're playing Commander Brawl and you put in something involving artifacts, Arena loves to find somebody who's playing Jin-Gitaxias against you and manages to get them out before you ever can. Mightstone, Weakstone, Forsaken Monument is a must, of course. Give additional mana and cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life every time. We've got the other Jin-Gitaxias from March of the Machines. I won't go through everything, but we do have some of the double lands like Celendia Vision. We've got some counter spells like Dissipate. We've got some artifact creatures like Circuit Mender and Crystalline Giant. We've got things like Essence Capture and Disruption Protocol for counter spells. And that's essentially it. It's a little bit of counter spells, a little bit of card draw, and a lot of artifacts that'll help us out that we can cast, hopefully for cheap as we get going along. So let's just jump right back in. And I think my issue is maybe it's tough to find the right balance between artifacts and counterspells. But with 41 artifacts, you'd think there'd be something for me to hit to cast. Oh look, Ashiok, something that gets rid of your graveyard. Is this a coincidence? 2 matches in a row. My creature just specializes only in getting stuff out of the graveyard, and the only things that I'm facing are graveyard hate. The only things. This is too much to be a coincidence. It's not even 50% win-loss anymore. I'm just losing everything every time against things that are tailor-made against me. Maybe it's Emry. Maybe Arena doesn't hate me. Maybe Arena just hates Emry. Maybe that's it. Okay, Emry's cheap now with the 1 down. The 1 artifact down. So let's bring her down. What do we got? We got Circuit Mender and Argivian Avenger. Will we get enough land draw to bring those back before Ashiok comes into play? Let's see. Seek 2 cards. We will go ahead and shuffle those into our library because we don't have enough land to cast either of them. And now we have no maximum hand size. The Vengeful Strangler cannot block, and I'm not going to bother defending against that. Though maybe I should. Maybe I should just let Emry die once and then bring her back again for cheap. Oh, never mind. They took care of that as it is. We'll move her to the command zone. Went from 2 to 4. Okay, let's do Key to the Archive. And I guess that's fine. Except I don't have the right mana to cast it, do I? It's not one of those things where you can... Oh yeah, we can. We can use Key to the Archive to cast that. So let's go ahead and throw Bag of Holding away. We can get that back with Emry later, perhaps. Great. feel like we just take raids. I feel like we just sacrifice braids. They didn't want to lose the Vengeful Strangler. Okay. This is a Planeswalker, though. Essence Scatter won't work. As foretold. Might get some free card play soon. Alright, let's go ahead and deal 2 damage to you. Just get rid of you real quick. Let's go ahead and bring down the Forsaken Monument. Well, I'm sure that's not going to be counterspelled. We're close to them being able to bring down Ashiok. Grim Tutor's a little disgusting. So I might lose a few artifacts at the beginning here. Let's see. I think we bring this down, gain some life, we choose artifact, make those cheaper, bring down Mystic Forge, look at the top of our deck, and then I think I want that counterspell, so we're not going to do anything. We see if they're just going to bring down their Planeswalker.
Listen to your pain. It whistles. All your fears are given.
Sacrifice this. That creature goes back up into your hand. Pass the turn. Emry comes down. And Meteor Golem is perfect. Get rid of you. Oh yeah.
Never forget my voice.
I've got... what, just 2? I guess I need to keep that open in case they have a good creature. It's as foretold. Let's see. Pay 0 rather than the mana cost for each spell. So that's just absolutely free for them, isn't it? That was a free spell from As Foretold. Tasha City's Laughter. I can't stop that. It's a lot of land. What else did we lose? We lost to Jingataxius. Oh well. I guess that could have been worse. Let's do a reality heist. Reveal up to 2. We'll take Blackboard Reforged. And I think we take Combat Courier? My turn. Alright. Combat Courier for 0. That's easy. Blackblade Reforge for 1, that's easy. Spark Hunter for 2, that's easy. We have to discard a card for that. Cancel. Yeah, just cancel that. Let's go ahead and attack. And Emry, before they bring anything out for Graveyard Hate, I want my Aether Spellbomb back. Cast that for 0. Okay. We can now counter a couple of different things. Even if they do cast a free 5 mana casting, that's fine. So they have 10 really. Yeah, but they can only spend the 1 on the 5 mana spell for free. What was that? Oh, so they can use... Let's see. Pay 0, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we'll dissipate that. And they knew we were going to equip Blackblade Reforged, and that was going to be lethal damage. We beat the Graveyard Hate. Unbelievable. I had a couple of good experiences. The beginning was like 50-50, and then I just had a straight loss of like 5 in a row, I think. With like cheap commanders that were only 2 cost each, and every spell they could cast something every turn. It was always like beautiful. It was like perfect synergy with the commander. Like Finn the Breaker, whatever it was with the poison, or Giada bringing out angels. This is why we press ahead, though. You never know. With that As Foretold spell, they could bring back their Planeswalker pretty nicely each turn, no matter how many times I removed it. So we really did need to have the advantage before they got that going. It was actually kind of a clever combo. I like it. And we finally won one, so Arena's going to take forever to find us a suitable match. Or maybe there's just not as many people playing Historic Brawl. I don't know the latest report on how many people are playing which format, but Modern Standard seems to still be the most popular. That's the longest I've had to wait in quite a while. But it didn't put me automatically into a draw. A Joda deck. I did beat the only Joda deck I faced in playtesting. Let's give it a run. Tormod's Crypt. And they've already got a Monodork. I was thinking I might get on a Jari Disruption or something. We might still try it. Let's see if they spend 4 to bring something down. No, we can't stop that. That's just pure mono generation after pure mono generation. Okay. Now we have Disdainful Stroke as well, so... Ooh. Yeah, we'll use Disdainful Stroke on that. We probably should use Jari Disruption, but oh well. Okay, let's go ahead and bring down Emry. Ooh, World of Phyrexia. So if our graveyard does happen to last, we've got some nice things we could bring out. Sandworm Convergence. Creatures with flying can't attack you. At the beginning of your end step, that's constant worm generation every time. So it's like turn 5 and they're getting to play 8 mana spells? You people are disgusting. Aren't they disgusting? Okay, we'll make artifact spells cheaper. We'll bring Multispectrum down for 0. I can't bring that back for less, so we are done. But I'm also out of counterspells. And now they can bring down Joda. Oh, they bring down Sigarda instead. Okay. Other permanents have hexproof. Things are starting to get icky for me. Huh. Circuit Mender? Alright. That's what I got. They gave me two of the most expensive cards in my entire 100-card deck. How much do I need for him? 7? 7 to get the full value. If I do this... 3, right? With the kicker is 6? I can afford that. They'll know I won't have a counterspell. I'll be tapped out, but it'll give me another 5/5 creature. Unfortunately, she's legendary. Oh, they don't have any. That's generic mana. They're still missing a 5th color. Okay, and that means we can now cast Walking Skyscraper. And this one can get through without dying. So we can kind of match them for a change. Ah, add 1 mana of any color. Okay. I think we got him, though. Maybe. Maybe... Okay, Sculpting Steel comes down as a copy of any artifact on the entire battlefield. Let's do Walking Skyscraper. We'll do the one with trample only. They take the 8 points. They don't know I have Disruption Protocol. So if they try for Joda, would they? Is that enough? They're going to try for something else. Chromatic Lantern. Okay, you can bring Chromatic Lantern down. That's fine. There's Joda. Tap and untapped. We're going to, I guess, autopay. There we go. Tap that. Joda's countered. And instead of bringing them back to the command area, they just scoop. And they didn't even know that we had Graz the Unstoppable Juggernaut that would have made everybody base 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 35 points of damage. Even if they didn't attack and they had 4 blockers, we would still have had lethal. So for a change, just because they didn't have the exact 5 colors for a change up front and didn't get Joda out first, we actually won that one. Kind of lucky, though. Right? A lot of the Joda players... Joda's very common in Historical Brawl. Joda's very popular. And if they pop that off correctly, you just have 0 chance. Tosh is also really tough. Tosh is an alchemy thing, isn't she? Ugh, do we have to put up with alchemy cards? I think I do have like 1 or 2 alchemy cards out of the 100. Only 2 lands. Yeah, our problem is until your next turn, whenever a creature attacks you, put a -1/1 on that creature. That's any creature. Let's see. Artifact or enchantment. I think we just keep our mana open for this and make this good. Okay, what can we do against that? Combat Courier is good. And we can still play a null. So that's our goal. But we do need to not miss a land drop. Ugh. That's gross. Out of all the lands that I wish I wouldn't have to put down. Okay, so we can put down the Basilisk Collar and still be good to go, sort of. Okay, we can stop that. That's an important one to stop. The question is, did they miss a land drop? because Tosh is really cheap for a legendary planeswalker. Okay, I don't think protection from multicolored saves us from Tosh's ability. But let's bring down Emry. Okay, we got Spark. Ooh, Spark Hunter's good. Alright, maybe this will work. Let's see if Emry survives for a second. They're looking at her like she does not. And they used Mob. And all they're adding is Death Touch counters. So that's not the biggest problem. I think we just bring Emry down again. What can I bring out of there? Nothing yet. Okay, we can bring down Sculpting Steel. I don't know. My opponent is impatient. Oh! I think they were just land starved. That could have been a tough match, especially if I didn't get any more land. But we did have some options there. It wasn't entirely one-sided. I didn't think I was taking quite that long. It's not like I ever have the ropes show up. Sometimes I'm kind of surprised at how quickly people give up, but really, if they were stuck at 3 lands and kept missing land drops, I understand that frustration and not wanting to play anymore. That may have been why they felt compelled to say, "Your go," because they were like, "Hey, I can't do anything." Maybe somehow they expected me to know that. When you have 0 good plays, you do become more impatient to wait for your opponent. You feel like they have all the advantage, and what could they possibly be waiting for? But both sides do not have the same information. Oh no. 1 life and draw a card. Talk about a cheap spell. They get down already. Oh no, they do the Land Cobra first. Okay. And I get the 2 most expensive cards in the entire deck. Of course, Arena. Thanks for nothing, Arena. It's my fault I won. Not only can they bring that down, it feels like they already got a nice cheap spell they can cast. Yeah. What if we go ahead and exile it? We'll give them a 4/4. Does that slow them down in the slightest? We're going to bring down ours. We do get Shambling Suit we can bring out. They can bring back Sithis already. Yeah, I think we need that. We need that to cast Invoke the Winds. But it may already be too late to stop this entire thing. They got Paladin class down, which is awesome. Awesome for them, I should say. Can't bring that back now. I guess I'll try and block there. Alright, 5, 6. Let's take away Sithis. And that's all we can do. Yes, we do need the link. They still get their life gain. Gross. It just really gets worse and worse every single time. Every card is like a bomb. Double strike coming up. They could just spend their 6 mana and give everybody a +1. But we do get Meteor Golem, right? Who do we get rid of? What do we get rid of? That's going to be indestructible. Meteor Golem can't take out that. We're more than half dead. I guess we take out the 4/4. I don't have that in my hand yet. I think we go after anything else. That's another destroy thing, not a... Oh, Calyx. Lovely. Yeah, we knew this was going to be tough. The enchantment tribal has just so many cheap spells. Yeah, look at that. 3 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana. They had enough to cast almost their entire hand, even though I took Sithis away from them. They had just way too much synergy built up. As soon as I saw Sithis, I was afraid. A few too many dead cards in my hand this entire time. Why do I keep doing that before it's... I want to just block... we can block the 1/1 cost. And yeah, we'll move her to the command zone. And that's going to come in tapped. So we're done. They got us good. Alright, so you can see against the 5 mana commanders, we seem to do pretty well. And against anybody who's like 3 or 2, we do really lousy against. Emry needs some time to get all of the artifact base in position. And it seems like we can't quite get the temple a lot of times to get that time. Even if our counterspells come up early, a lot of our opponent's stuff is just so cheap and so fast because they have all of the historical cards to get into. But, you know, it's not a bad deck overall. We did beat the one Graveyard Hate deck. We did beat the Joda deck. It still seems a little bit luck-based, you know, just because you're dealing with all these cards and it's hard. Like, if I decided to try and put in something to counter the Graveyard Hate, maybe that's 2 cards, what are the odds that you're going to get exactly one of those 2 cards out of the 100 when you need them if you encounter the Graveyard Hate? So it's hard to take that kind of thing into consideration. You just kind of have to set your battle plan, do what you want, and see if you get a chance to play your cards. But as always, I invite input. So probably Historic Commander Brawl is probably where I have one of the least amounts of experience in. So I'm definitely open to feedback on the deck construction. But as always, remember to like and subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more of the Commander Brawl stuff, or if you prefer me to go back into Modern Standard. I'm always willing to give you guys more of what you want as well. So thanks. That's it for now, everybody. Have a good one.